Okay, so once you're into Help Scout and you are ready to start looking at reviewing and answering emails, you will select one of these. So let's go ahead, since Income University is probably going to be our most active these days, with Second. I will say My Business in a Box will have some as well because that's where a lot of our prospect email replies will land. This one is an older trigger site for MOB support, not that active at all. Most of what we get may just be spam. Shiny Object Solution, again, same thing as this one, not a lot. We were getting some Twitter notifications, but they should be all unsubbed, turned off, all that jazz. So there shouldn't be much of anything happening in here. So let's go in here. Income University, like I said, will probably be our most active these days. And you'll just select the unassigned, or you can click on the title of the email box and that should take you right in. So it will take you, when you click on just the mailbox alone, it'll take you right into the unassigned. Oh, and this is good. You can see good timing here. If you see a little yellow triangle here, that means someone's already on this ticket. They're reviewing it, as you can see. When or if that turns red, that means that they are typing out a reply. So if you see someone working on this, then you don't have to go in. Unless you want to shadow them, you can certainly let them know, hey, I just want to see how you answer this, and you can shadow them and see what they're typing. So you can just select on one that is available and you go into it. So let's take, for example, oh, well, before we do that, let me just say here, since there's a good example of it here, the ones that are in bold, those are ones that have not been replied to. So they are still what is called active as a status in here. This one right here, you can see is not bolded. It's just normal, as it were. This means that we have set it to pending as a status, as we are pending information from Digital Altitude for follow-up on this. So if you want to just add a note to it, we're pending information before we answer it, or if you do answer them and you want to close it out as pending, so that way we just kind of have that visual reminder, hey, we need to follow up on this, that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, the default status when we reply is closed. So we'll go into this one. As you can see, that's the client's name that they give us. That's usually associated with their email. Sometimes you'll see some funky stuff here, but generally speaking, that will show their name. The title kind of gives you a blip as to what they're asking about in the email. There's your ticket number right here and what time it was last updated. So when you go into it, if anyone has added notes like I have on this one, then you will see that here. Clients do not see the notes. These are strictly internal. So these are things that we can use to alert each other to say, hey, I have this information pending, which like I do here. So that means no action to take at this time, or we can just communicate back and forth. It can also be used if you want to put a draft in there. You can either save as a draft, like you are actually replying, can save as a draft, or put a note in for someone on the team to review and say, hey, does this look right? Does this sound right? Am I missing anything? You can do that through adding a note. And these are the different action areas up here. So this right here, that's your reply. So if you're ready to send a reply to this person, you click on that, and it opens up the reply box, and you have some options here if you need to add a picture. These are where our saved replies are housed, so you would click on that and it drops open, and you can either scroll through to find the one you're looking for, or you can search by name here. And then let's say that you do want to select one, you just click on it and it will populate. I do have this one here, this email greeting, so if it's something that one of our saved replies won't necessarily fit what they're asking for and you just need to type it out manually, this will allow you to just pop in the greeting without having to type it all out. Go down here and begin typing your message. But otherwise, let's say that you do have one that you want to add. So let's say someone wants to cancel. You select that, it pops everything in there. So you don't have to worry about that. Now I will say that I recommend rereading everything. Make sure that if there are ones that require some inserted information, for example, the login tested successfully, you go in here and it says, here are your logins we tested for you today. That's the site. And there's a big old honking space. That is where you would paste in their username and password that you would get from Ontraport. So you definitely want to make sure that you do look this over to see if there's anything that you need to alter. If you need to customize it in any way, you're certainly welcome to do, but at least we have the basis here. So since I'm not replying to him, and let's say you go, oh, wait, I need to research this first, you can go ahead and hit this. This discards it. The little checkbox that was next to it, here, let me go back in. This will save it as a draft. So you can, if you've already started typing something up and you don't want to lose it, you can save it as a draft. And then when it does, you don't see it here right now because we don't have any created, but an extra little box that will come up that says drafts, and then it'll have the count number 1. You can go into there and retrieve the message that you're in for the draft. But for now, we want to discard that. So back up here, note. So if you want to add a note, you go in here, click that, and you can see it kind of has that little extra color to this, so it indicates it is a note. This also helps to say add note, so definitely be sure that if you're adding a note, it says add note, not reply, not send, not anything like that, that it's add a note. And as you can see, you can add here, you can stay on the page, go back to the folder, or go to the next active one. But as a default, when you add, it automatically goes to the next active email. Now, you can type in here whatever you need. If you want to pull down one of the saved replies and do all of that, you can certainly do that. But if you don't want to add a note, like I don't want to now, discard it. But this shows you there's a ticket number, there's the status. Right now it's under unassigned, so anyone can grab it. Over here you have the person's name. You can edit it if you have that information and you desire to do so. You can certainly do that. There's their email address that we can copy if we need to. If we need to change the customer, which periodically does happen, Daigle does forward us emails because he monitors other email accounts that do not come into here, such as our welcome at Income University or welcome at MOB. So sometimes he will go in there and he's like, oh, this actually needs to go to support, and he'll forward it to us. Well, when he forwards it to us, if we go to reply to it, it does a reply to him, not to the original person. So what we want to do is go and grab the person's email address from down in the message, go into change customer, and it will allow us to input their name or email. So if it's someone that we've already spoken to through Help Scout, we can certainly pull them up, but more than likely you'll have to create a new customer, and you would just click on this and you would put in their first and last name if it's even given, and their email address, hit save, and it automatically will swap it over to the new customer information over here. And so any replies will go to that person instead of the person who forwarded us the information. If we have spoken to this person before, which obviously we have, then you will be able to view all the previous conversations. So you can see what other emails that we've had, and if there's even more, which there are, you can view all, and it will pop up all of the conversations that we have on history for this person. And you can scroll through because there's obviously some that go to the next page. There's that, and you can click on them and open them if you wish. So you can do this and it'll just pop open the screen and you can read what happened on it. You can see the status when it happened. Merging, you can merge conversations together, but once you do it, it can't be undone, so do be careful with that. But sometimes people send us duplicate information, or they'll send us an email that is kind of a continuation of one that they sent before. That is the best case scenario to merge conversations. If it's a duplicate, don't worry about merging them. You can just answer one and close the rest of them with a note, just saying this is duplicate, already answered in another thread, close, done, move on. And you can go back to results from here. So you can see there's quite a good amount of historical navigation that you can do from the previous conversations. And so this is your basic information of where you would go in to answer the emails. And since we're here, I will see, okay, she already did answer it, but you can go in and see when people are on it, and you can see there's a little bit of a lag, but you can see where they're typing. So you can see if you shadow them on a ticket, you can see what they are doing. And like I said, the default is after you answer a ticket, it will automatically go to the next active one. And if that happens and you happen to be on a ticket and you see someone's little box pop up here with their picture or a little icon, that's just someone who happened to land in there. They probably were answering other tickets and it landed in here. So don't fret, don't worry. That just means that they're viewing it too, and they'll probably log out of it. So that is the basics of how to answer an email in here. And you can navigate on the left side to go through and see what has been done, what is available. You can go through all the closed ones if needed. If you're looking for one that you just did, maybe you forgot to tag it with the right tag on it, then you can go in here and select and tag it, and I'll show how to do that in another video. Spam boxes right here. I love how they do different ones, and it's really cute. But the spam box, if there's something in there that you know is active, sometimes we might have more than one. It might be easier to go in, and what it would look like is something like this, where you can select all of this, and then this little drop down comes up. So you can do mass actions with it, either assign to someone, change a status, tag them, if you need to move them, which sometimes does happen. If we get an Intercom University email over in the MOB one, we want to move it over here so we work it from the right mailbox. Or if you need to forward it to someone, you can certainly do that as well. Not in mass, but you can do separately. But tagging and things like that. But in spam, you would select all of them, and you can do right here and change it to active. If you change something to spam, it just lands back in the spam box. Doesn't really do much of any good because we still have to take some action with it. And when we have spam, we want to just tag it like this as spam. You can do that, select it, and it will automatically do a spam tag on them. So for example, I'll do that, boom, spam comes on there. Now technically these are not spam, so let's say I was like, oh shoot, I did the wrong thing. Totally fixable. Go in here, deselect it, done. I'll go in here, deselect it, gone, fixed. So you can certainly do quite a bit from these masks. You can assign to anyone who's on the team in mass as well. So those are kind of the overview basics. I will go into the next video to show you how to do a few more little extra things.